Hey guys, Sinif here. So the next Nintendo console is on the horizon. It was announced last week that it will be revealed this year, and there has been a lot of talk about it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a potential issue that I've noticed with the new Switch, and what it could mean for your current Switch games. So, backwards compatibility. There's a very high chance that the next console will be backwards compatible, but obviously it's not a guarantee. But let's just assume that it will be backwards compatible. Leaks are suggesting that the new console might use SD Express cards, which are significantly faster than current generation SD cards. These new SD cards could make the loading times on the Switch way faster, pretty much gone, because these new SD Express cards are pretty much on par with SATA SSDs and sometimes even faster. To back up these leaks, Samsung has even announced a new line of SD Express micro cards, and they haven't revealed who, but they said it was the result of a successful collaboration with a customer for a custom product. And a lot of people are saying that this must be Nintendo, but obviously we don't know. So what does this mean for backwards compatibility? Well, currently the Switch cartridges are basically just SD cards but a different shape. There's no difference really between them. The SD card slot on a Nintendo Switch and the cartridge slot both are limited to UHS 1, which caps out at about 105 megabytes per second. If the new console has SD Express, I believe there is a high chance that the cartridge slot will have SD Express as well. And obviously that means if it's backwards compatible, you will be able to put your old cartridges into the new slot. Now, the problem with SD Express is that it is technically backwards compatible. Old SD cards do not reach their full speeds. Thankfully, the maximum speed of an old SD card in an SD Express slot is UHS 1, like I mentioned before, caps out at 105 megabytes per second. So, if you used an old cartridge on the theoretical new cartridge slot on the Switch 2, it will not receive any higher loading times. There will not be a single bit of improvement. It will still have the same cap. Thinking about this, I was wondering, okay, why did they give us SD Express then? What is their reasoning? Well, I think that obviously Nintendo want to remove the issue with the Switch, which is the ridiculous loading times. Anybody who's played Animal Crossing or Zelda Breath of the Wild knows that the loading times on the Switch are pretty atrocious for today's standards. And this new slot is going to address that issue. So what happens to old games? Are we just going to continue living with slow loading times on Animal Crossing New Horizons, for example? I don't believe so. I think that if this is the situation that's going to happen, Nintendo may release their games again, but on new SD Express cartridges. If they did this, it's safe to say that the value of current Switch cartridges would decrease by quite a lot. And these days, the value of Nintendo games is quite important to a lot of people. After the 3DS stopped, the value of the games didn't particularly go down that much. There's a lot of 3DS games that are still worth a ton of money, which has caused some people to collect Switch games as an investment. Now, I don't particularly agree with buying video games as an investment. I think they should just be bought as a piece of entertainment, not as something that you should expect to grow in value. And I don't really expect my games to go up in value. I just bought them because I like them. So really, despite all of this, I don't actually think this is much of a problem. I would much rather all of my games lower in value and we get much better loading times on the new ones. I would even rebuy games like Zelda and Animal Crossing if they had much faster loading times, because it's a pretty big issue in those games. Anyways, this really is all speculation. There's no proof to any of this. We might not even see SD Express in the new Switch. There's literally no confirmation whatsoever. But I just thought that this was a fun hypothetical situation to go into, and it is entirely possible that this could be the case. It's just really fun to talk about. And what are your thoughts? Let me know. I'm very interested to hear what people think about this. And of course, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.